everybody, Bearded Syrup here. We're going to go through a quick guide on the Sassy Endurance Manager. This manager helps you schedule, get all your pertinent information you need for upcoming endurance races that you might have in iRacing. This has been used by us for years now, and it's kind of crucial for us to have when scheduling and seeing when people are available and things like that, and knowing all your stints that are going to be coming up. Your fuel usage is really nice to have. There's going to be a lot in here, so stick around and let's get to it. All right, in the link in the description below, you're going to see a link, and it's going to bring you to that Sassy Endurance Manager Google Drive. In that Google Drive, you're going to see a bunch of templates here that they provide. One thing we have noticed by using this is make a new Endurance Manager template every time you need a new team or a new race or anything like that. And the best way to do that is just go to this page, right click on this one, the Sassy Enduro Manager V0.07 template, and go ahead and right click that guy. Actually, you can do the live schedule as well, I believe. I think they're the same thing. This one's just a little newer. So we'll go ahead and do that one. What you want to do is make a copy, right? If you make the copy, it will go directly into your My Drive up here. So we just made a copy of that one. As you can see, there's one from earlier. Here's the one from now. So in your My Drive, you can double click that. All right, here is the spreadsheet for the Sassy Enduro Management. First thing I would do is change the name to whatever's going to be pertinent for you. If it's going to be Spa or Fuji, whatever it is. We just got done with Petit Le Mans, so we would have that name there. We'll just go ahead and call this Guide for YouTube. The first thing you want to make sure when you do have this open is you see all these yellow and different colors. You want to make sure these colors are showing up. This is where I go back to earlier by saying make a copy of the original document first, move it to your drive by making a copy, and then you can move it to wherever you need from there. But make sure you make that copy from the original document, because sometimes these values don't show up like this with the yellow, because you want, if it's not in yellow, that means the configuration isn't inside the spreadsheet. So as you can see up here, there's this Sassy config where you can update drivers. You want to make sure that this is there and you're able to select some of these. All right, now that we have the spreadsheet set up a little bit, we got the name, we know that the spreadsheet we have is a working spreadsheet. So what you're going to want to do is start filling out this information that is in yellow. So in yellow, you can put your race duration, race start. This is all in GMT as well. So put this to your in GMT time, and then you'll see later where it kind of converts it on your schedules. But there's a lot of stuff to change in here. Pit duration, the tire time stuff, I think we can uncheck for now, just because most of the time you're going to be taking tires anyway with fuel, as tires can now be changed in iRacing at the same time being fueled. So you want to go ahead and make sure that you're changing your pit duration for that race, right? They're all going to be different for each track. And then these up here, these you could change, but they will take an average of your drivers here. So they've got some, stock drivers in here right now, and I'll show you how to change all that. But let's say we have some drivers in here, and kind of their lap times. And I would put these lap times that are average in traffic, especially if it's a multi-class race. Put those average lap times that you could find out with traffic. I think that's a little more beneficial. It'll make your stint count a little more specific when you do put that in correctly. So once again, everything in yellow can be changed. The race start time, this is going to be the in-sim race start time. Sometimes we have to dig deep to find out what time these races do start in sim, but we usually know obviously the duration and the session time. And then the green flag offset, right? So we're going to have, 20 something minutes of practice, and I think 8 minutes of qualifying, something like that. I know it can change depending on the track, but you want to put that offset. So we know that the session starts at this time, and then the green flag actually starts at 30 minutes or 30 something minutes after. So you want to put that in correctly as well. All right, next. You're going to want to go to the third tab down here is your roster tab. And this is where you're going to see all your drivers and their colors, their offset time. So what they have GMT offset. So like I'm in central time, so mine would be -5. So let's go ahead and let's pretend that we're going to be running 3 drivers. So let's go ahead and delete these drivers. Let's give them some names. Dre. All right. So let's say I'm in Central. I'll be -5. Let's say Mike is in Eastern time. He'll be -4. And then let's say Joey is, let's say he's Eastern time too. We'll say -4 there too. And don't forget, make sure you delete everything in these other drivers sections here, so they are just completely off the sheet, so it doesn't confuse you. Now, what you're going to want to do next is either send a link, share this document with your drivers, or go in here if they tell you their availability. They will go, you go to the driver availability tab, or somebody else can. And as you can see, you'll see their local times here, which would be correct on GMT start time. So they can go in here and change, let's say, because we're looking at a 24-hour race here, they can go in and change these. So let's say Mike's like, you know what? I am open all day. Kids are gone all day, so I can make sure that I'm available the whole race. Boom. He's available all day. You can go, Joey can do what he's available, whatever, and then times it. I'm open or blocked or unavailable. And for these people that don't have anything, just go ahead and block them just to clean it up a little bit. All right, now we got our schedule in there. It looks like we do have enough time in here to get a whole race in. And as we know with iRacing, we got to have that fair share. So this is another spot back into the roster. It'll tell you if you have a fair share. Yes, it'll change from yes to no. So it's really nice to have. It also shows you the current stints each driver has. So if I'm feeling left out and they're like, hey, Jerry, you need another stint, let's, we can take away one from Mike, give one to myself, and we can do that here in the actual schedule portion. Now in this schedule portion, you'll see there are some yellow lines. These are the ones that can be changed in here, but what you want to do is set up your drivers, and we usually do 2 stints per driver. So as you can see, my time's tentative here. Mike's available, Joey's open. So what we would probably do here is say, Mike, you go ahead and start. Oh, one thing I forgot to tell you guys, totally forgot. Go to after you change those colors, hit update driver colors. You're gonna have to let Google in. You're gonna have to say it's unsafe, but yep, we want it. So we can change those colors, and you'll see why here in a second. You do want to change those colors. I think it makes this look a little better once it does update here. All right. As you can see now, the color is a little easier to read. That's why I usually change those colors right off the bat. So we know that Mike can do the first 2. Looks like Joey can do the next 2. And, whatever here. I'm not going to go through each one. But as you can see, change these the way you need to. What's going to fit your schedule. Now, a couple things here. You can highlight one of these if you want, saying maybe this is an important part of the race here where whatever you might think, you can highlight it. I don't usually highlight it, don't see the need to. This one is nice though. You can change here your stint type, right? So if you know you're going to want to do some fuel saving, you can say, hey, this stint we're going to fuel save. Now, as we know, these things change when you get damage and stuff to the car, but it's nice to have this option where you can do standard with tires, fuel saving with tires, standard no tires, fuel save no tires. And then another big thing that you're probably going to need to happen is this damage modifier right here. So let's say you got into a wreck, lap 1, and you're running, and you're like, man, this car's about a second slower than it was. You can actually put that second in here, and that's going to add that time in to the rest of all the other laps. So it might change those stint times or how many laps you might have in that stint. So as you can see, you're probably going to want to fuel save as whoever Robert is. It shouldn't even be in here. So let's just put Dre in here so we can see them. And now the damage modifier has changed from yellow to red. So you know that you do have a damage modifier. The other thing you can't change is these actual laps, right? So let's say, I changed this earlier, so let's put this back to 32. So we know in yellow, it's kind of the standard time, right? And I don't know what happened here. Let's move these real quick. All right, so in Mike, he said, oh, you know what? I actually ran 33 laps. That stint, we're going to put in 33. It's going to change to green saying, okay, yeah, you're ahead of the game here now. And if somebody does less laps, more laps, you're going to want to put those in there So these change this because this can change how many laps maybe you have on that final stint. If everybody gets one more lap, Dre might not even have a stint at the end because of that. So that comes into strategy and things like that. You also want to make sure that you want to change this actual end time, right? So let's say Mike's stint went a little longer. You can put that in there so everybody kind of has a specific time or close to a specific time. It's never going to be spot on. If you're real meticulous, it could probably be spot on. I remember one race we had it pretty close. We were maybe a minute or two off on our stint time. So it's good to know that your drivers understand what times they're going to be running. So it's good to have. One more thing before I forget, up here you see the Sassy config. You can always reset your driver availability, which will then just change all this back to kind of the stock. And you can update your stint visibility. If you do change a lot of your settings, lap times and things, make sure to update that stint visibility often to make sure that everything is going to be correct. So I'll just hit reset driver availability here so you can kind of see what it looks like. Everybody goes to blocked, then you go back into schedule, and then you can see that everybody's going to be blocked, but you're going to have that driver availability anyway changed by your drivers, and then you can also update your stint visibility, and then that should kind of clear things up if you want to start fresh. All right, just a couple quick things back to the overview page, right? This is going to be your kind of most important page. So you want to make sure that you're updating these lap times with what they're running. And also here, I think I might forgot to talk about this earlier, is you want to put in your fuel per lap. Now this is going to be in gallons because we're only using 0.78. But you want to make sure that whatever you do, if you're using liters, you're going to be using, it's going to show more, but make sure you just change your fuel tank size here because then that will match here. So we use gallons usually. So fuel tank now, what was it? 26.2 after the BOP. So I think that probably does it with the main stuff when it comes to the Sassy Enduro Manager. We have, once again, we've got our overview where you can change your, all your overall event stuff, your fuel stint times, lap times. You could even, time of day factors. If you run 24-hour, night time's gonna be a little quicker. Maybe you can change these if you'd like. We have our schedule of the full race at everybody's stints, your roster, how many stints they have, colors, GMT offset. Remember, this is very important to make sure that's right. You can also put in stint preferences here. I don't usually touch these because we all kind of know that we're going to get a fair share here. So, and then also your driver availability tab is going to be very important for your drivers. Now there is some other tabs in here. You've got your average iRating calculators. You have some driver stint percentages for your stints. Your stints by driver, time of day type thing. Change log, things that have changed in these versions. I don't think there's been any major changes after version 7. And you got this stuff I don't usually touch, so I don't like. Yeah, you can actually mess this up pretty bad. I've done it many a time, but I have figured out the best way to do it, and I hope this helps everybody out. If you have any questions, let me know. Don't forget the link for the Sassy Enduro Manager Google Drive is going to be in the description below, so make sure you check that out. And yeah, let me know if this helped you guys out. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope this helped out. Don't forget, give me a small little like and subscribe to the channel if you can. All right, everybody, have a good one. Thank you so much.